My name is Emily Wakefield. I'm currently a manager for a service in Buckinghamshire NHS Healthcare Trust. I started out by background as a physiotherapist, and I've gone on to become the clinical lead therapist for a Discharge to Assess service. I manage a small team. A lot of my job is around coordinating them out into the various areas that we have across the county to enable them to be able to create assessments for those patients. Because of my disability, I am allowed to work from home, so I can set myself at home in a quiet environment, but I do go out to sites because I need to meet my team or sometimes go into the care homes where we have our patients, where we see our patients. So I will go out at those times to help my team then. So I'm neurodiverse and I have a condition called ADHD, but I'm also hypersensory sensitive. So what that means for me is that the things that most people would think of as normal, lights, noise, sounds, touch, textures, tastes, anything you can think of linked to senses is extremely heightened for me, and it can get to the point of being, I would describe it as like pain. So for example, sitting in too bright a light for too long would mean that I would struggle to process or struggle to function. I might start to feel sick, I might become short, sharp, people might perceive me to be difficult maybe, and it's the same. So if I were wearing clothes that weren't comfortable, say like a particular type of material, or I specifically don't like things around the back of my neck, it would irritate me and I would fidget and not sit still more than usual, because with ADHD I'm known for not sitting still for long periods of time. I think lots of people think naughty schoolboys, don't they, when they think ADHD, and I think it's very different certainly in girls. The big thing for me was really trying to understand myself and know myself, because if you can't understand yourself, how can you help other people understand you? And I think the more you can do on yourself and the more you can recognise what your needs are, the more you can explain those to your employers. And I think if you can do that, you can come up with a strategy and you can say that this is what works best for me, and then they should be able to make those reasonable adjustments to support you. My manager's very good, she's very accepting, so she allows me time, which is really important. For me, I can work out the offices, but when I need to, it's okay for me to work at home where I can sit in silence, turn my lights down, no one's going to disturb me, there'll be no distractions, that kind of thing. If I were to come to the office, which is obviously where I am today, I don't have to wear a specific uniform, I can wear clothes that are comfortable for me, and if I need to dull down my senses, I can put my sunglasses on, for example, and no one's going to question or challenge me. We have hot desking a lot, but there are rooms that I can go to, I can shut the door, I can turn the lights down, close the blinds if I need to. I am allowed to manage my workload how I see fit. As long as I get the work done at the end of the day, I can do it in a way that works for me. So say I'm having a day where I'm struggling to focus on one task, I can focus on a different task and come back to that task at a different time. No one's going, right, I need it right now, if that makes sense. So aside from my support from my management, this trust has what's called a disability network, which has been set up by those with disability within the trust. So it's run by us, and there is a support network there for a variety of disabilities, including neurodiversity. And also we have something called the Speak Up Guardians, and they're just sort of a place that you can go to talk freely. It's confidential, it's safe space, and I can say I've had personal experience of this. We'll offer solutions to help you manage maybe some difficult situations or things that you might have, or to help you communicate with your employers if you need some sort of help and support.
I'm Bridget O'Kelly and I'm Chief People Officer here at Buckinghamshire Healthcare NHS Trust. So there are over 350 roles across the NHS, and here at Bucks we have most of those roles. So everything from nursing colleagues, doctors, therapists, to some roles that I think people won't necessarily think about. So HR, finance, gardeners, electricians. So we think we have something for everybody. People bring their whole selves to work, and people from a SEND background bring a particular perspective. I think from a personal level, I find often people bring particular problem-solving skills, and their own lived experience often reflects that of our patients, which means that we can deliver better care to those patients. I would encourage all employers to be as open-minded as possible and encourage as many applicants to come and join your organisation. As a public sector organisation, we at Bucks Healthcare want to employ people who really believe in our values and are committed to providing outstanding care to our patients. The other point from an employer perspective is that it's really important to listen to your colleagues. So both those who have a disability, who have lived experience, but also their allies. And I'm really proud of the work that our BHT Disability Network does in providing that support to their colleagues, but also me as a director and the advice that they give to me so that we can better support those colleagues.
The way my brain works is very different, and I think I bring different insight and different suggestions because I don't think like everybody else. And I think you need different perspectives in all kinds of different roles. So having me gives a different perspective. I think anyone that's really interested in exploring a role in therapy, be that physio or occupational therapy and many other therapy groups actually, I would say just perhaps go and get some work experience or look into the different areas and different types of physio because it's so broad, and I'm sure that if you do that you'll find that there is an environment that's really suitable for you. My personal aspirations are to be able to go on to continue to support other people with neurodiversity coming and working into organisations like the NHS, and perhaps being able to use my own personal experiences to support them in their working environment and help employers support them in their personal environment. But for the time being, I'm very happy doing what I'm doing, I've got to be honest.